Clarity Meditation, Tips and some final thoughts. During this final session, I will provide exercises that can be included in your meditative practice or outside meditation to help support your practice. I will provide tips and some final information about the benefits of meditation and close with an explanation of why it is more important than ever before to develop and maintain a meditative practice. Now for some tips. A tool I use on its own and in guided meditation is called visualization. It is an example of how to help yourself change your mind. For example, if you find you have a negative attitude towards yourself, others, situation, or life in general, visualization over time will help you to see things differently. The way it works is that you use your imagination to paint a mental picture. The picture can relate to any situation, thought, or feeling. The goal of visualization is to create different neural pathways in order to develop healthier habits of thought, emotions, speech, and behavior. YouTube has a variety of meditations that use visualization to promote forgiveness, healing, compassion, etc. Over time, you will learn to guide your own meditation using visualization. To do this, identify what you want to replace and with what thoughts, words, or behaviors you wish to change it to. For example, if you want to cultivate greater patience, you might want to think about why patience is important, how it has had a negative impact on your life, and how you picture greater peace in your life through patience. You can imagine that with each breath you take in, you are breathing in patience, and as you do, you find yourself relaxing, feeling calmer and more contented. And as you exhale, you push out impatience. The more often you repeat this visualization, the more it will become engraved in the neural pathways of your mind. Slowly, you will notice a shift in your thinking. To summarize, you talk to yourself about the issue you wish to solve over and over again inside of your mind silently during the meditative process. A second tool I use, this one outside of meditation, is speaking affirmations out loud. Again, the purpose of affirmations is to change the neural pathways in your mind and replace negative thoughts with positive affirmations. Affirmations are constructed in a very specific way. The first step is that sentences always start with the pronoun I. Next to it is an action verb in the present tense, such as am, see, feel, think. And after that is a positive action, emotion, thought, or behavior you wish to attain in a positive way. Examples are, I attract all the wealth I need. My body is healthy. I am courageous. I face challenges directly. Note, the word not or any negative word should not be used in developing affirmations as they could affect the outcome you are trying to produce. Once you have developed your list of affirmation, say them over and over again out loud, and this helps to change the neural pathways once again. At first, you may believe that what you are saying is simply not true, but over time, as the idea is imprinted on your mind, you will see that it might be possible. It works along the lines of fake it till you make it. You may not achieve your goal 100%, but you will come closer than you would have without using this technique. Of course, if your goal is to become wealthy, having the right mindset will not be enough. There are also specific steps you might need to take as well to support your thoughts. You need to follow up on the level of action. This is true with all affirmations. This provides you with the mindset, but you still have to take action in order to make that goal take place. Another tool I use outside of meditation is sentence completion, which I learned through reading books by Dr. Nathaniel Branden, who has written excellent books on self-esteem. This is effective when you wish to explore your subconscious and perhaps even your unconscious. The way this works is to write down a series of unfinished sentences, perhaps in a notebook, with lots of space between each statement. You could start with 4 or 5 topics. Examples could be about times in your past that you recall as having been difficult. This process might clarify why and how this time was difficult and the impact it is having on you now. Here are a couple of examples that you can try out for yourself. The first statement is, "The greatest difficulties I had as a child were. I now see that fear has held me back in life by. I want to face challenges I have not in the past. They include. My role right now is." Once you have come up with the sentence stems you wish to use, the next step is to brainstorm to come up with ideas on how to complete each of those sentences. The way that works is to write down without thinking and without judging whatever comes into your mind. No matter how foolish it seems, no matter how off the wall, write it down. Keep adding to your list for as long as you can find other thoughts to include. Once you have completed that statement, go on to the next one and do the same with each subsequent statement. At this point, put your list away and allow it to just sit for a day or so, and then go back to your list and once again brainstorm, reading first what you have written down and checking to see if you have any new ideas that you can add to your list. Again, do not judge your statements, but simply write down whatever you can think of. The final step is to read your list of responses and judge each statement. Ask yourself if this is true or not for you. You might find some surprises, but on the other hand, things from your shadow self, your inappropriate patterns of thought, or unhelpful thinking may appear. For example, you may have written down, "I never thought I was good enough." From there, you might find the implications are sometimes along the lines of, "I sabotage relationships because I figure that way I dump them before they see that I'm not good enough." Or, "I don't follow through because that way I can just say I lost interest instead of taking the chance of failure because I know I'm not good enough." Once you have identified this thought process that is no longer useful or true, you can use clarity meditation to change your thinking process. Another tool that you can use within your meditative process is called a mantra. A mantra is a sound repeated to enhance concentration during meditation. It is said out loud. I like When I stretch it out and say it from my diaphragm, I feel the vibration in my body, and for me, it feels soothing. You can do this by taking in a deep breath, saying your mantra. As you exhale, breathe in again, and then repeat it. So mine sounds like this. I only use this to shake off some of the stress I'm feeling in my body, but you might find it helpful under other situations. In addition to meditation, there are other methods that you can use to bring about clarity in your thought process. So here are some tips I'd like to offer. When you can't meditate, do some deep breathing. Deep breathing forces the body to relax. This is very effective in stressful situations. Walking in nature can have a calming effect on people. They find that the quiet allows thoughts to flow more gently. It's a great way of getting away from the fast pace of modern life. Music can be an aid or replacement to meditation. Calming music can be a useful supplement to meditation or used outside of meditation. Personally, I don't use music when I am doing unguided meditation because I find it distracting. By that I mean, rather than focusing on my thoughts, my mind enters the music and imagines all kinds of things. However, I do enjoy it with guided meditation. Art can touch our minds and hearts in ways that help us to see the world differently. Tai Chi is a formal practice of walking meditation and can be learned from videos on YouTube or may be available at local classes. Journaling is writing down thoughts, which can be brief or whatever length you find meets your needs. A gratitude journal is useful to help raise awareness of all the good things we have in our lives. This can be done for a period of about a month or something you may find useful on an ongoing basis. To start your gratitude journal, take a small notebook of some type and at the end of each day, jot down 3 things you are grateful for. Things can be big or small, simple or major. Sometimes it may be difficult to find 3 things, but in that case, you are probably not seeing the little things that can make a difference, like finding a parking spot when you're in a rush, ticking off each item of your to-do list, finding an item you want to buy on sale, watching a toddler giggle. Like practicing gratitude, developing a habit of practicing patience helps us to slow down our stressed, anxious minds and to give ourselves moments of calm and allow time for reflection. If you find this world to be chaotic, learning patience is a way to slow everything down. How, you ask? Impatience is an emotion that is promoted by thoughts that go something like, I am too much in a rush to wait for this. I'm too important to be treated like this. That person is not fast enough, good enough, helpful enough, smart enough, etc. When any of these things happen, practice the rule of always 3 choices and decide if you want to change the situation or leave. If you select the 3rd choice, to stay, you are doing 2 things. You are taking back control of your life rather than allowing that situation to rule your life. Secondly, you are providing yourself with a chance to practice patience. This entails changing your mind about how you see that situation. Instead of seeing it as a waste of time, elect to see it as a time to catch my breath or people watch. Instead of focusing on fault in the situation or person, focus on acceptance of things like the weather that you cannot change or empathy of how difficult someone else's job is. In closing, I'd like to take a few minutes to talk about how the effectiveness of meditation can be a very important tool in modern life. We seem to be pushed to move faster and faster, to make decisions at warp speed, and to live a life that is overly packed with doing, and more doing. We expect ourselves to make rapid-fire decisions, and the pace of life is accelerating to the point where sometimes people must feel like they are being treated like machines. But the truth is, we are not machines. We all need time to regenerate and to be thoughtful in making important decisions in our lives. In the past, I would not have suggested that teenagers be encouraged to meditate. I would have said they do not have the stress and pressures that adults have in life. Unfortunately, that is no longer the case. Technology, and more specifically social media, is not only picking up the pace of life for everyone, but in the case of youth who are staying connected too long, creating negative impacts. For example, depression is on the rise. Scientists believe that we need face-to-face contact to enjoy a certain type of well-being. Young people today are less likely to enjoy fresh air and the benefits found in nature. Bullying has always been around. What has changed is that because youth are attached to social media, the importance of the number of likes they get and the impact of negative comments have become more difficult to deal with. They still do not have fully developed brains to make better quality decisions. Young people used to be able to go home and close the door against bullying. Now they take it into their home with them. We have an opiate epidemic in parts of North America. Being young can be an exciting time, filled with promises and options. Youth and young adults have always gone through periods struggling to find meaning and facing the multitude of issues and questions of those periods in life. Opiates provide an apparent quick solution. Numb the pain. Get away from the questions. What glorious relief. Unfortunately, in this case, it is destructive. If youth learn to meditate early in life, coping skills will be enhanced and therefore reducing the appeal of drugs. Clearly, meditation alone is not the answer, but it is certainly one component that would help to address the serious problem we face. If you agree with my comments, especially if you are a parent or teacher, I encourage you to propose the introduction of meditation classes for youth as part of a health program. That concludes this course in meditation. I hope that if you found it interesting, you share this with other individuals to spread the word of a way of enhancing our happiness and peace of mind so that we can all take part in a better life, a happier life, a calmer life, a more peaceful life. Thank you for listening.